What do you think is going to be necessary in order to get to the finals?
I think like anybody else, I would favor the Lakers. But you got to respect Denver. You know, I think what Jamal Murray's been doing, obviously Jokic, the way he, passes the ball, he scores in the post, he makes threes, just a crafty big man. He's trouble for anybody, especially when he's doing everything. But I think, what the Lakers have thrown out there against the Rockets, they did it against us, where they show attention to the guards. If you're a scorer, if you're a dominant guard, they're not going to allow you to play free. They're going to send bodies your way. They're going to make you play against a crowd. They're going to keep fresh bodies on you. And I think that's what Jamal Murray should expect. I saw it. James Harden saw it. And I think he'll get the same thing. And I also feel like having AD guarding Jokic, he's capable of guarding Jokic, or at least giving him a hard time with his length and athleticism. And then you got JaVale McGee you can put on him, and you got Dwight Howard you can put on him. Even LeBron can take some reps on him. Like, they have bodies and people with ability to give him a hard time. But Denver, they move that ball. They play together. They got that spirit, and, they're going to have a chance.
Let me go back to Jokic, and I don't mean this in an insulting fashion because he is big time, but it's like he can't jump from the street to a curb or on a curb. And for some reason, he seems absolutely positively unstoppable. Can you explain to me why no one can guard this guy? What is the issue? What is it about him?
I mean, skill. He takes and makes awkward shots, timing. And he thinks the game. He's not trying to use his athleticism or speed to do anything. He's constantly thinking the game and manipulating foul calls and doing sneaky stuff. He'll shoot it when you don't expect him to shoot it. He'll shoot it off the right leg. You never know when he's going to shoot or pass. So I think that presents a challenge for anybody. It's similar to how Zach Randolph was. Like, this dude had 14 rebounds, 26 points and 14 rebounds, and he playing below the rim the whole time. Not really athletic. He just finds a way to get it done. I think Jokic is similar and just has that knack for scoring and rebounding and seeing the plays as it's happening or before it happens. And it's tough to deal with.
Last question for you. With no interior defense, no rim protector on Denver per se, who do you anticipate will have the biggest series? Anthony Davis or LeBron James?
I think LeBron. I think at this point, I thought LeBron against us, he had the first game, it was like a filling out process. And then as the series went on, I think he became more of a problem for us. And then in the second round, it was the same. You see him chase down blocks. You see how dominant he was in that series when you got a chance to watch it. And then going into this series, I think he was probably expecting to see the Clippers. And not that, he's looking down on Denver, but I think he's looking at it like, I can't let this opportunity to get back to the final slip. And I think you're going to see him come out and be super aggressive and try to really dominate the series and, get punch his ticket to the finals.
His greatness, that seems like a terrible way to say it because of everything he's done, but it might be true. Yesterday announced to his 16th All-NBA team, he was a unanimous selection. Along with the Greek Freak, he was unanimous. Luka Doncic, James Harden, and Anthony Davis round it out.
What year is this for him?
This is his 17th year.
17. Think about that.
I know.
17 years, 16 NBA, all NBA selections.
Yep.
So it's just not even fair with this dude, man. Not fair.
We'll get into that.
We'll get into it.
We'll get into that.
Just a bit. Hang tight for that. We got some
check
passion.
His DNA, though. I don't think he's human.
No, he's not.
The Nuggets might be in trouble tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. You'll hear it on ESPN Radio, Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals. The Dodgers,
but then everybody refers to him as the king.
King James.
So I've been on record, and I've said this a multitude of times. I think he is the greatest player that we have ever seen. Now, I'm not saying he's the greatest winner we've ever seen. Michael Jordan, 6-0 in NBA Finals. I know culturally what he was able to do, right? Key and I were talking about this, like the way people chew their gum, icon, like basketball. He was a graceful assassin. He was a thing of beauty to watch. It was like poetry in motion. but watching LeBron James and the skill sets that he has. And I also factor into the greatest of all time while you have your platform. And, I know that the things that Jordan did, not everybody was privy to because there wasn't social media. He did a lot of things behind the scenes.
Right.
But look what LeBron James has done holistically. More than a vote, what he's done with his platform, creating a media platform, standing up for things. It has that Muhammad Ali-like feel to it.
Wow.
Now, I'm not saying that he is Muhammad Ali, but him stepping up and saying different things at different times, and it's divided the fan base. A lot of people don't rock with LeBron. I mean, it's really funny. After all the talk I hear every single day is, I don't want LeBron James to win because I don't like what he stands for. It proves the point that he moves the needle so far. I think what he's able to do, I've never seen anything like it before in my life.
See, it's very difficult for me to start to say who's the greatest and all those sort of things because as young as I am, I had the opportunity to see people like Kareem play for a very long time in L.A., Magic play, obviously, Kobe Bryant, Shaq, LeBron, and Michael. So when I look at that, it's like I just enjoy all of them because different times and different eras, much like Jay was talking about, when you talk about Michael Jordan, nothing was ever wrong with my knee, but for whatever reason, I wanted to wear a knee sleeve and roll it down so you could see the red part of it.
Oh, the brace.
Yeah, the brace. Nothing because Michael did it.
Yeah.
I wanted big shorts because I saw Jalen Rose in Michigan them playing, and when I was in high school, it was like, oh, okay, I'm going to rock them.
The black socks, all that stuff.
So it's like you enjoy certain things like that, the swag that comes with it. I also enjoy LeBron James being able to put his teams on his back and carry them to championships. So all of those guys are great to me. I can never put one on top of the other, even though a lot of people will do that. Kobe Bryant, I would never say LeBron is better than Kobe or Kobe is better than LeBron. I think you enjoy what's in front of you at that moment and at that time. I don't think LeBron is better than Jordan. I don't think Jordan is better than LeBron. Different eras, different times, moving the needle differently, right? Michael Jordan is still selling shoes. My son, who's 8 years old, Vance, know who the hell Michael Jordan is.
Right.
That's crazy, right? I mean, that's just what it is.
Look, it's something that we get into. I mean, a lot of kids are growing up watching LeBron James and emulating the king as well, right? And my thing is, at the end of the day, this is still a great debate to have because of the greatness that we got a chance to experience from both those individual players.
It's a great point. We'll have his old teammate Chris Bosh from the Miami days join us at 9:30 a.m. Eastern here on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. All of our guests, including Bosh, will join us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Last number, guys, to keep in mind, it's as simple as this. You mentioned 17 years for LeBron, looking for his 10th NBA Finals. So simple math just literally tells you he has been to the NBA Finals more often than not in his career. Place a bet on LeBron getting to the finals and you'll likely win.
It's ridiculous.
We won't talk about the first, several times he got there with Cleveland, with the Cavs, and nobody can tell me who was on their team.
Right.
Other than LeBron James, you can't really tell me who was on those Cavs teams unless you're a diehard basketball fan.
Got to look up that 07 Cavs team. Still to come.
Keyshawn's still pondering. I like it right now. Still thinking.
Speaking of Cleveland, you're right. Speaking of Cleveland.
Man, you getting paid by the minute or word or whatever? Because you keep.
We've already established that's your deal. We got to find something else. Still to come here. A must-win in week 2. Not the Cleveland Cavs, but the Cleveland Browns. How much pressure?
This is Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. It's the Lakers and the Rockets. Blocked by Davis. Kuzma on the run out. LeBron with some English on it. This is looking like a mess for the Houston Rockets. Rockets are alive. Caruso. Oh! They're a win away from the Western Conference Finals.
He's laughing.
Oh, gosh. You wasn't on the text chain last night, but, they showed the shot.
What shot?
Of Houston after the game walking through the tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, man, that's painful. That's a painful walk. That slow walk from the court to the locker room when you just got waxed. God.
Well, they came out flat. They came out so flat. You got to give the Lakers so much credit just defensively. I mean, they're on top of their game. I mean, now you're seeing why they're probably one of the favorites to win it. Just what they were able to do to James Harden, 2 of 11 from the field. He never found his rhythm. Just LeBron was almost a triple-double last night. AD looked dominant. This team is, I mean, granted, Houston came back towards the end of the game, but then, as you said, the bald eagle make a shot to close it out. It's going to be the Lakers and the Clippers, what we all expected.
That was a little bit of a fake comeback. One of those, get you on the edge of your seat. But we had enough cushion that I felt comfortable. And then when Caruso knocked the three down, I was like, oh, okay, well, obviously it's over, and let me focus in on the football game. But much like my man Jay Will just said, from a defensive standpoint, that was the question coming in, is how would they be able to defend the threes and the high energy, the octane offense that Houston presented, challenging